What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Vocab Malone. Welcome to our super late night live stream. I'm going to be talking to David Wood because you want to know, where has he been? What's he been up to? What's happening next? Stick around and find out. Street Apologetics live in the house. Let's go! What's up, Dizzle? How you doing tonight?
What's up, man?
All right, everybody. You heard him? Can you hear him? Make sure there's no echo on your end. I think we're all good on sound. Just let me know in the live chat. So, David Wood, people were getting worried about you even tonight. They're like, yo, is he coming tonight? But this is proof positive you're alive.
Yes, I'm alive.
And it looks like you're on the bridge of the Death Star there.
What?
You know, you got all these flashing machines and stuff behind you.
Oh, yeah.
You're like on the bridge of
that's some equipment.
No, I know.
I know you know, man. You've been here.
Well,
just make sure they're not hearing the echo. We were hearing an echo before everything started. We want to make sure that that's just in our headphones and not something everyone else hears.
Yes, everybody. Two things. David sounds like he's inside a barrel. Vocab sounds great. All right.
Oh, someone says echo there.
Echo is there? There.
Huh.
Oh no. Okay, is an echo on with both of us or just one of us? Let me see here. Man, come on. There is an echo. Yeah, they're saying they hear an echo on your end.
Okay, so they say you sound good.
Yes. And everyone else.
Not me.
Yeah, no, everyone is also saying you look great. You look slim. You look slim.
Getting all shredded.
Yeah. So you don't sound good, but you look good, you know.
Yes.
I don't know, man. You got any other microphones?
This one's dope. I'm just wondering if it's something on my end rather than.
I'm trying to think if there's anything on my end to do, and I just don't see anything that could be causing it. Is the thing.
What do you have as the input for my sound?
You're on interview. You know where it just says interview on the eCam? You're not.
Let's see.
You're. Here, let me try. Okay, say something now.
Yo.
Well, I just turned you. Okay, the echo goes away when I turn you off. I've noticed that.
That is pretty dope.
I don't know, man.
Let me.
Somebody says unplug it and replug it.
Unplug and replug what? My mic?
Yeah, that's what somebody said.
I mean, I can switch to the built-in camera mic. Let me go ahead and try what they said real quick. I'm going to unplug this mic real quick.
All right. Oh, then now they're saying they think that it's much better. I don't know what happened better. Okay, everyone, I am looking at the live chat. Please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. You know, let's see that. Hit that thumbs up button, everybody. And also make sure to grab this link and share it. I'm glad you guys set a reminder. I know if you're in the Pacific time, it's 10:45. It's no big deal. But I know if you're out there East Coast, as far as the United States goes, it's a little bit late. It's basically Saturday already. But this is when David can do it. Late night hangout. We used to do these a little bit back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember.
We did this. These were a couple of years ago. It was a similar situation in that we didn't have a night nurse, so I was staying up nights and stuff, and I was like, let's just go live. But we were doing that on my channel.
Yeah, that was fun, though. Now you're out of sync.
Now I'm out of sync? See, one of your buddies told me to. Oh, yeah, I can see I'm out of sync on the thing.
Yeah.
Man.
Can always call back. It's 4:45 p.m. in Australia, jumping like a monkey says. Yeah, now you're delayed.
Let me switch to
Petra says, did you get locked out of your channel, David? He did not get locked out of his channel.
Nice.
So he's going to explain what the situation is, but it's not that he got locked out of his channel. Yeah, you're delayed. Maybe call back because now you're delayed.
Check. All right, I'm going to call back. I don't know what it's going to do because we can't do anything about the echo.
Yeah, I'm trying to see anything on my end that it could be, and I just I don't see nothing that it could be, unfortunately. There is a weird thing though where it's saying my echo cancellation on my end is disabled, but that seems like that wouldn't affect you. Not echo reverb. You gonna call back, bro? David Wood.
Yeah, I'll call back.
All right, man. We'll have you call back, brother.
Okay.
All right, everyone. We're figuring out. But look, David Wood is here. He's alive in the flesh, and we're glad that you are here with us. Hey, listen, I know some of you guys have seen me before. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I prefer everyone to hit the notification bell. But if you're like, well, I'll subscribe, but let me just not hit the notification bell, hit the button that says get some notifications, and then you'll get some notifications. And I'd appreciate that if you do that. And then also, I would also appreciate if you would, take a look at my Patreon page. I got some exclusives up there and all kinds of other stuff, and I encourage you to check that out too. It's 7 in Germany. Hey, Michelle Marie, how you doing? All right, well, we'll give it a shot. And, Brother Aaron the Presby says Ecamm is weird like that. Yes, sometimes it is. Make sure the output settings are right on your mic. Looks like we got a Ecamm user here.
Check.
What about now, everybody? Tell me.
Looks like I'm in sync, but they might still hear an echo. I wonder if any of these buttons do anything. Check. Check. Did that do anything? What about this? Check.
How about now, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know. What do you live chat? How about we still got a reverb on David? Yeah, it looks like you still got one.
Well, that sucks.
Hi.
Hang on. Let me actually turn on the audio so I can see what I sound like.
All right.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
You sound better. If I don't know what you're doing. If you're doing anything.
I think I sound fine, man.
People are saying it's fine now, but it's hard to tell because I'm getting contradictory comments in the.
It sounded okay to me. I thought it was like terrible. It just sounds okay.
Nah. All right, let's go. I'll mess around with some things here and there during the show. But David Wood, everyone is wondering where you've been. You clearly have not went anywhere. And let's talk a little bit about what you've been up to, man. People want to hear from you.
Yo, what's up?
Well, David Wood, why haven't you uploaded in 3.5 weeks? I actually even getting emails about it, bro.
What are you counting? No, everyone is. I'm getting all, and it sucks because it's like everyone's email.
I'm not counting. I'm not counting, but the people asking me are counting.
Yeah. So everyone's getting all these messages, and I just like ignore them all. But it's like it's from everyone I know, and everyone is contacting everyone I know, asking where I am, and then I just ignore them all. It's not to be a jerk. It's just yeah, you know.
Yeah, no, I know how it is, bro. It's all good. That's all right. We're gonna see each other soon, hopefully, by God's grace. So here, this is a relevant question. I think you would feel free to answer this. If not, you just tell people. Abhishek Raju says, what's all that medical stuff doing in there? That seems like a pertinent question, David Wood.
Is Abhishek the only person in the world who doesn't know I got 2 disabled sons?
First of all, we might not be the only. And also, people might not be used to you going live on the bridge of the Death Star.
Oh yeah, let me break it down, because I did share an update with supporters on Patreon, subscribe star and stuff like that. Posted a
Hmm.
video update so they know what was going on. But yeah, so we have five sons, and two of them have a rare genetic muscle disease. It runs on my wife's family side, and basically girls are carriers of it, but it doesn't affect them. So like my wife is a carrier, but it doesn't affect her. She's fine. If boys get it, then half of boys will have the disease, and the half will be fine. So it affects 25. I mean, it affects 50% of boys. So we have five sons, and two of them have this disease. Now, ordinarily we have three nurses during the week. And so we have a nurse who comes in on weekdays during the days for part of the day, and we have a nurse that comes in weeknights, and then we have a weekend nurse who comes in usually weekend nights, but she'll normally get there a little earlier. So we normally have three nurses, and then back in February we lost two of our nurses. They didn't get along, and one of the nurses snitched on the other nurse for not following some policy. That the number of policies that nursing agencies, it's like, Vocab, have you seen this? Like the amount of bureaucracy is like increasing over the years, and it's to the point where like the nurses here have to like constantly fill out paperwork the entire time they're here, and it's like, I'd rather you fill out less paperwork and like focus on the kids more. But like it's the agencies. I've heard that from everyone.
I think that it's to try to create barriers and shields so they don't get sued as easily. So
Yeah.
I think that's
But
probably mainly
I've
why. What do you think?
I've heard it from everyone. I've heard it from like truck drivers and stuff like that, who say that like now they have to fill out all this additional paperwork for everything they do and stuff. So it just seems like everywhere, everyone is increasing the amount of paperwork and red tape and everything else. Anyway, so two of our nurses didn't get along. They only had to see each other for a couple minutes during a shift change on Sunday night. So it's a weekend nurse and the day nurse. And so Sunday night nurse would sometimes see the nurse who would come in during the day on Monday, and they didn't get along. And so the weekend nurse would keep trying to get the day nurse in trouble. The problem is the day nurse was our favorite nurse, right? So she was always trying to keep getting her in trouble. Anyway, she told the agency that she wasn't following some policies. Not something we cared about at all. You could get rid of like 90% of their policies as far as stuff that actually affects us.
Right.
But anyway, she snitched on her, got her in trouble. Then our day nurse was gone. And I don't like snitches, especially ones who are like causing You're not here to cause problems for us and stuff. So I said, yo, she's got to.
So the other nurse disappeared because snitches.
We said no. She told the agency we don't trust her, and so we definitely don't want a nurse who's going to be causing problems for other nurses and then screwing us over. You know, when we're not, like, whatever problems you guys got, don't let it affect us, but you know, it's affecting us. So anyway, so that was two of our three nurses, because here's the thing. You and I were doing these late night things a couple years ago when it was a similar situation where we didn't have nurses, and Marie was watching the kids during the day, and I was staying up at night, and then I'd sleep during the day. It's pretty normal occasionally to lose a nurse because they sometimes move somewhere, or they get married and decide to go off and do something else. Sometimes they're working home care while they're going to nursing school part of the day to become, a higher level nurse or something like that. But after they finish their school, then they want to go work in a hospital or something like that. So you lose nurses for a variety of reasons, and that's pretty normal. But yeah, we got so we lost two at the same time. And then the third nurse, this is her last semester of some additional nursing school, and she said she had to cut back her hours to focus on school and stuff like that. So we went from having three nurses to having part of like one nurse and stuff. And so Sometimes you lose a nurse, and the next week another nurse comes in, and there are other times when there's like a shortage. There just aren't enough nurses who can do what you need them to do. And it's, you kind of need a good nurse to deal with kids on life support and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, if you're a good nurse, you probably already have if you're a good nurse who does home care, you probably have someone who wants to keep you, right? You probably already have a job. And so it's kind of like someone has to die or something, it sucks, right? But it could be a new nurse, some sort of new nurse. I generally don't trust new nurses too much until they've been through some stuff. But it's like, to get a good nurse, it's almost like she has to lose the other job she's working on for some reason. And it's usually
so maybe if you can
someone dies or something.
So if you can get that other nurse fired, that's a good nurse.
Yeah. So anyway, that's basically what was going on. That we don't. Yeah, there's just no good nurses waiting right now. So we're waiting for another, because we've been through this enough. Because Reed's 13, Paley's 10. So we've been cycling through nurses for a long time, and I don't trust them until I see them in an emergency situation, because you got nurses who come in, they're like, I know how to do everything and I'm the world champion. You see something goes wrong, all of a sudden alarm goes off and they just freeze, right? They haven't been in real emergency situations before. And so yeah, you just have to, sometimes you get a new nurse in and you try out and you find out, hey, that's not going to work out and stuff like that. But yet there just seems to be a nursing shortage at this particular time. I have no idea. I don't know if it's because of COVID and like there are people who didn't fully recover, or if the nurses are like in hospitals or something like now because of something like that. I have no idea, but hard to find nurses right now. So I just took over at night, and my wife takes care of the kids during the day. She's got it rougher because Kepler is up during the day, and they went to sleep earlier tonight than they normally do. Normally they go to sleep like 3 or 4 or something like that. But there's just less stuff to do at night. So I get some reading done and stuff like that. As far as making videos, it's a little bit trickier because my wife and I record videos together. She's running the equipment and stuff like that. I'm talking to the camera. And so anyway, I was kind of hoping that we'd get a nurse and then I could transition back, because, during that period, I didn't want to be like, hey, you've been, taking care of everything all day. I just woke up. Let's hurry up and record a video and stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, so I was hoping we'd get back to normal, but we haven't. So I'm just going to have to roll. I'm going to have to adapt. You know what I mean?
Well, so basically everyone, and I think you've got it, is David Wood is the night nurse for his family right now. So that takes priority. And so his schedule's different. And so he hasn't been making videos because he's taking care of his kids in the night. That Marvel character, right? Night Nurse. It's every time I hear you call yourself the Night Nurse, it always makes me laugh.
Yeah.
What?
That's cool. What's crazy is I'm actually pretty awesome at what I do. I'm a world champion awesome nurse for this stuff. I wouldn't know how to do anything else, but as far as the stuff that we've been doing for years, I'm like world champion. We were
You're also humble too, so there's that.
Mm-hmm. Paley was Paley was in the hospital a few years ago, and the nurses in the hospital, they don't want you to be doing anything while they're there, because then their supervisor walks over and you're there doing the stuff for your kid. That makes them look like they're lazy or something like that. Yeah. So anytime I'm like, hey, let me help out here, and they're like, no, excuse me, sir, we're fine. We're trained professionals. We know what we're doing. And I'm thinking
that's your nurse impression.
Yeah. I'm thinking, okay, look, I know you probably took a 4-hour class on suctioning kids with trachs. I understand that. I've been suctioning them 20 or 30 times a day for years now.
Right.
Both of them, I'm really good at it. You aren't, and I can tell you aren't, right? And so
I do it more than you, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it way more than them, right? Because they're not, they might occasionally have a patient who has a trach. I've got, 2 kids with trach tubes all the time for years. And so it was funny, but the nurses didn't want me to help. And anyway, this like New York Jewish doctor comes in and he's like, "Nurses, we're not getting the suctioning good enough here. We need to find out what's going on. I'm getting the x-rays and there's clearly fluid down in these lungs. We need to get it out." And the nurses are trying. And you could tell, see, like, again, the nurses, I understand the nurses don't want, you doing stuff when, their supervisor might walk by. Whereas the doctor, he doesn't have that issue. Right. He's sitting there and, "We need to do this. It needs to be now." And he turns and he goes, "Why don't we let Dad try?" And so he calls me over there, and so I'm like, "Yep, no problem here," right? So I'm suctioning him. But then he turns it into a class. He like has all the nurses gather around. He goes, "Now watch him. Watch how he's going down in there. You see how he's turning? He's turning so he can feel around inside the lung to find," right? And so he turns it into this class for the nurses, and it was cool because then after that,
then they let you do it. Out. They let you do it.
Well, and other stuff. They find out you'd be getting it's called PEEP. It's called a PEEP alarm going off, saying that there's basically air escaping around the trach.
Okay.
And they're repositioning them. They're messing with the tubes and stuff like this. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dee. Only dealt with that 9,000 times, right? So finally I'm like, "Okay, let me show you." And I went over there, and you just have to sort of reposition the trach, right? You have to, because it means that there's not a tight seal, there's air getting out. So you just kind of wiggle it around a little bit until it's in the right spot. And then the alarm stops going off and stuff. So anyway, so that's basically what's been going on. It's temporary. We'll eventually get you eventually get a nurse. We always do. But yeah, this was longer than normal. We got our day nurse back, the one that got in trouble. So we got her back.
Oh.
Yeah. So now we have a nurse for part of the. No, we have a nurse during the day. We still have no weekend nurse, and we have a nurse that comes in certain nights.
Right. Okay.
So, but it's a situation where, like, basically, if I have to stay up like 1 or 2 nights a week, I can just do that and still, be functioning on a day schedule. I mean, I still on my normal schedule, and then, just 1 or 2 nights, then I have to stay up, and then I'll just sleep in, and I can still stick with my normal schedule. But if it goes above 2 to where it's 3 or 4 or 5 nights a week when I'm staying up, I can't adapt. So I become night adapted.
Right.
And stuff. And so, yeah, I've been getting tons of reading done and stuff. And the other thing was, I told people in the update I posted that, so January, this is what sucks. It was the timing. January 1st, I put myself on this crazy, getting in shape routine when I realized that, I'm scheduled to die in like 5 to 6 years, because you got these predictors of when you're going to die, and it's when did your dad die and what did he die of, and they're telling me I'm dying of the same thing my dad died of when he's 50, and his dad died also around the same time, and I have the same thing, hypercholesterolemia, which is my cholesterol's through the roof and stuff. And so I'm like, I told people in the update I posted that I always thought that jihadis were going to kill me. Right? It was always in my head, why the heck am I going to get in shape when jihadis are going to kill me? I mean, if I understand that most of the people who say they're going to brutally murder me, they're full of crap. They're not going to do anything. But if it's even 1%, if 1% of these guys are
one, all it takes is one.
If it's one, I mean, even if it's 1% of the people who said they're going to kill me, that's still a ton of people who who are actually going to kill me. And I mean, when me and Nabil started off, there weren't a lot of people dealing with Islam, right. So we thought we're signing our death sentence, because people do get killed, right? The Charlie Hebdo people, the guy who made, what was his name, Theo Van Gogh, he was killed
in the streets. The filmmaker.
Yeah. So, you think, hey, if you're the one blasting away at Islam, eventually someone comes for you. So why in the name of common sense do I care about being in shape? And then, you know, just this past year, because they've been telling me for the past couple of years that, my cholesterol's through the roof, and
Hey, you're cutting out a little bit. I don't like dead air, so I'm going to let you either call back or wait till you unfreeze. Somebody just asked why they can't give super chats. Okay, you're unfrozen. Just give me a second here. Someone just asked why they couldn't give super chats. You cannot give super chats on this channel. It has been demonetized. However, we have a beautiful system that works just as well. It just does take one extra step, but we have something called a tip jar. And so if you look on the top of your screen in that white box, it says Streamlabs link, and it's streamlabs.com/vocab malone/tip. If you open up a new window, don't leave us now, just open up a new window, and it's actually much better than Super Chats because Google doesn't take out such a big fat chunk like they do on Super Chats. This is a lot more of a pure system. So again, it really helps since they demonetize. You know how that goes. Streamlabs.com/vocab malone/tip. It's called a tip jar. And David Wood, I understand the sentiment. That's the reason I'm out of shape, because I know one of the Hebrew Israelites is going to eventually get me. So what's the point, But go ahead.
yeah, but it's see, this is my reasoning. Like, I mean, and you could see it in my family. My family lives extremely dangerous lives, and that can go in a really bad direction with drugs, and they'll just, they eventually OD because we just don't have much fear of dying, and so it can go in a good reason where, like, I'm not, I can mess with jihadis all my life and not care. Yeah, hey, you want to saw my head off? Saw my head off. So there's that, and then there's if I were going to die from something that's not under my control, like someone crashes into me in a car, or I get a disease or something like that. But it's the idea of dying for something that I had complete control over. I mean, like, where they tell me, David, here's what's going to get you, and this is what got your dad, and the same exact thing is going to happen to you unless you change some things. The idea of just not changing those couple things, and then I die from that instead of anything else, and I just die of a heart attack when they told me it was coming. Anyway, I decided to go on this just to get that all completely under control. And I was 277 January 1st when I started. And I was 233 this morning, so down over 40 pounds. Going to go down another 15 or 20 pounds, and then try to level off, and then see what the result is as far as the impact on my cholesterol and stuff like that. But I started all of that and was doing really, really well with it, and then the whole nursing thing happened, and then I got switched to nights. And during the day, when you got the whole day, that's plenty of time to hit the gym, get a bunch of exercise in, and still do your videos and stuff like that. Whereas now I wake up 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and then, people start going to bed later on. Then I gotta come in here at night. So it's a much smaller window of time that you got, stuff to do with. And so anyway, I told people in the update, I said, you know what? I was about to start. Hey, I've only got a few free hours in the evening. So I can use that to start cranking out videos. And then I was like, no, screw that. I need to stick with my workout program and making myself really healthy stuff to keep getting that under control so that I don't, die in a few years. So anyway, I decided to make that the priority. And so, I wake up now in the afternoon, and I hit the gym for a couple hours a day, basically, 5 or 6 days a week. So been getting in great shape over the past few months. Not good for videos, but I'm going to work videos back in. And again, eventually we'll have a night nurse and things will go back to normal. But even now, even if it's like another couple months where I stay up at night, I'm gonna it'll be slower than normal, but yeah, I'll start making sure I get out a couple videos a week because everything else is getting under better and better control.
Well,
I'm getting in a groove.
I could tell, man. I mean, people are commenting, and you look great. The only thing I would change is your shirt, but I have a solution for that. Hold on, hold on. I will give you my shirt. Let me show you what it is, okay?
Wow.
You could have this beautiful shirt, and then you will look much better because it's better than just that white T-shirt you got on.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing is I don't have to focus at all on what I wear because I can just wear pajamas all day now, right? Because I'm so like I got pajama bottoms.
Oh, yeah, right.
I got pajama bottoms on and just a regular undershirt here, but yeah, I can rock these all day. I even go to the gym now in pajamas. I just go into the gym, work out in pajamas, and then head up out of there.
That's right. So. I think Marie finds comfort in that. She knows you're not going there to monkey around. Hey, shout out to Mark Reed. He gave the second Streamlab tip in the tip jar. Nate gave the first. Every time someone gives, you'll see Bumblebee appear on the screen and transform. Kind of like this sound. Hold on, let me do it better. Okay. All right, so David Wood, someone asks, you got to understand, people are just joining us, so someone just asked, David Wood, why are you in a hospital? You got to understand, you have that white T-shirt on, and your beard's a little scraggly, and in the back, it does kind of look like you're in a hospital a little bit.
The jihadis got me. But they didn't finish the job, so I'm still here, recovering.
Well, I mean, actually, but in all seriousness, it goes to what you're saying. The two of the boys that you're taking care of, you essentially have to have a room of the house that is dedicated to them with medical equipment. It is almost like your little miniature hospital. You know, that's essentially what that room is.
This is set up exactly like a hospital room. I mean, even like the beds here, these are hospital beds. And so we got hospital beds, all the equipment and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a pretty intense operation. So David's there with them, and he has to listen. You know, there's all these little...
If you can see, I can turn this.
Oh, yeah, get a little tour of the...
Let me see.
Get a little tour there.
Yeah, actually, let me pull this off here. All right, so yeah, there's one. So he's asleep. So you see the equipment over there, and then over here, and they got shelves, and those are boxes with different supplies and stuff in them. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and then we got shelves over here and stuff. Yeah. Right on, right on.
Got a little miniature tour. I like it. Hey, shout out to Liza J for the tip in the tip jar as well. Shout out to EC Gallegos, a wonderful couple here in Phoenix. And she says, thanks to both of you. We have learned so much, giving God the glory for teachers like you. Praise God. That's awesome. Yeah, Mandalorian Moggy says, LOL, jihadis got him as a hostage and he's lost weight.
They're not feeding me.
Yeah, they're not feeding you very much.
All they give me is dates. They give me one spoon of hummus and some dates, some ajwa dates.
And when you look a little sick, they give you some camel pea.
And I got to eat flies in my food.
But the wing with the curse on it, I don't know. All right, go ahead.
Have you not added that link? So you have it on the screen, but you haven't added it to the description because I was looking for it to click on it. I just wanted to see how it works.
You know what I'm going to do, David? I should have already done this. I'm going to pin. I should have done this. I don't know why. I'm going to pin the comment. I'm going to pin the link to it right now. Just give me a second here, because that's a good idea. Yeah.
I want to time it and see how long it takes versus a super chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. You see it through.
Because in case everyone doesn't know, we're all getting demonetized, so this is all something that we have to deal with. And so you basically look around for things that don't involve Google, because Google is coming after everyone.
Yeah, no, that's exactly true. Okay, let me see here. All right, I'm gonna put it on here and see if it's clickable. Let's see if I did it right here.
That should be like at the very that should be at the very top of your
Yeah, I'm gonna pin it.
description.
I'm gonna pin it in there. Like I'm gonna make it the #1 thing in the live chat. But I need to put the whole HTTP. It looks like it doesn't want me to do it unless I give like a link like that. You know what I mean?
I see.
Okay, now let's try it. Okay, it's clickable now. I'm pinning it right now. Okay, David. David and everybody else, I should be doing this anyway. I'm so dumb. I forgot how to live stream since I've been working on my book. Did you do it,
Pretty
David?
stupid.
No, I am.
I'm gonna click on it now.
Let me know if it goes through. It works
Vocab
for
Malone.
me. Yeah.
Tip.
Oh.
Oh, you type in a username. Do I have to type? Okay, so you have to actually make an account.
You do?
It says username.
Let me see how.
So do I have to make an account? Yeah, it's got a login thing.
Yeah, I don't know
just
if you
type in.
really needed. Is that
Oh,
really
okay.
what everyone?
Okay, so yeah, it says invalid username.
Oh, it must because how's it?
Okay,
It probably wouldn't know how to. What money source would it be pulling from if you don't have an account? I guess, right?
Well, yeah, that's why I'm trying to. I've never seen this one before, so that's why you just got to figure it out.
So I got a buddy, DJ Next. Shout out to DJ Next. He used to actually DJ for me on the road on shows when we do little tours and stuff, right? And we reconnected, and he's like a gamer kind of guy, and I've never been a gamer. So he came over though to the house because him and his wife appreciate the ministry and stuff, and he really helped me with some of the technical things here. And my point is, he knew exactly what I was asking when I talked about this issue, and he said, "Oh, you want to do a Streamlabs thing?" And so he showed me how to do it and all that. And so my point by saying that is, I think Streamlabs, from what he said, is like a common way for some of the gamers who do like live streaming for them to get tips, and they have this thing called a tip jar. Buzzcomer,
Okay, yeah.
$5. Blessings to you both. Well, go ahead. What'd you say, bro?
Oh, I was. Oh yeah.
But,
I don't actually. I was gonna. No, this is actually cool. This is actually okay. So when you do it, it just brings up your PayPal. So this works by PayPal. Unfortunately, I do not know my PayPal password because I just use my wife's account.
Gotcha. Well,
Next time I will know that. I will have that information. But yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, it's just yeah. You don't have to actually make any account. You just use PayPal.
okay, excellent. Thank you, Jonathan Green. He says, "Have some Easter candy on me, praying for your work and David's family." But Jonathan, you just told you he's losing weight, bro. Nah, but thanks for real. So no one's asking what I've been up to, but I do want to tell them the reason I'm only live streaming once a month with this rare late night exception with David is I'm working on a introduction to contextualized apologetics book. And it'll be like methodology, philosophy, theology of how to do apologetics and why to do them in certain contexts, specifically urban context, but it's called Apologetics in Context. So that's what I've been working on. But I have premieres every day on the channel. And I said, David, let's get you on. So, David, we've talked about why you've been gone for a minute. And we've talked a little bit about what you've been up to. Now, could we talk about future plans? Now, I know there's multiple, pots on the stove, as it were. And so everything, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, don't be blurting out what's going on in a couple weeks.
I'm not like certain other our friends.
Other people who blurt everything out. Yeah.
Trust me, unless I make a rare mistake, I know how to keep things in confidence. Every now and then I make a mistake because I'll forget it, but it's rare. I generally almost always got you and know what to say and not to say. If I do, it's a mistake and I'll apologize. But I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Don't worry. So, but I was going to say, are there things you want to share that we got going on, that you have going on, that are either kind of plans or things you hope to do? Because I know there's quite a bit. And whenever David is silent, everyone should know he's still thinking and meditating and doing stuff, even if you don't immediately see it. Even if sometimes it's just stuff he's thinking about, say he doesn't have time to reach out or whatever, even if he's reading, whatever it is, there's always something cooking up. But David, what are some possible...
Hey.
What?
Hey, just because you just mentioned that when people aren't hearing from me, that, I'm usually doing something else, that made me think that, when I was, because normally on my normal schedule, especially if I'm making a video a day, which was a pace, I didn't always keep it up, but that's what I was striving for. I was trying to get a video done per day, but basically in that situation, that takes up pretty much my whole day, right? My whole day will be taken up preparing the content, then the recording, then the editing, then doing all that stuff. And then, so that's like the entire day. And so it's, there's not a lot of time to do stuff like reading, which I used to do. Anyway, when I started staying up nights recently and wasn't making videos, I was like, oh, cool. I could get a bunch of reading done for some topics that I want to address this year. And I found out I could barely read anymore.
Yeah.
Has anyone else experienced that? I've heard it's pretty common because of the impact of the internet on you. Anyway, so then I started making myself read, because I used to read like 4 to 6 hours a day, every day. And so to not be able to focus on a book is like, I'm like, what the heck is going on here, right? So I started researching that. But yeah, it's not just, getting lazy or distracted by the internet. The internet actually rewires your brain. So anyway, that's the stuff I've been studying right now, how the internet actually rewires pathways in your brain and strengthens pathways that are basically built and designed for distraction, right? So your brain actually really likes constantly being bombarded with stuff, right? It likes that constant stimulation, which is not the same thing you get when you're reading a book and you're focused on the book. So when you're on the internet and there's these constant distractions thrown at you, and that's the way it's meant to be. Because keep in mind, the more things you click on and the more links you click on, and the more videos you click on, the more Google, YouTube, all this stuff make money, right? So they are, it's called designed for distraction, right? They are setting this system up to bombard you with constant distraction to get you to click on more pages, because that's how they make more money off of you, right? Well, that actually has a big impact on your brain, and the parts of your brain that are dedicated to weeding out distraction and staying focused on a particular thing and not being distracted, those parts are like shriveling up from non-use, and your neurons and neural pathways are basically being geared towards being constantly distracted, jumping from topic to topic. And it does have good impacts, right? People are becoming better at multitasking, for instance. Now you can actually focus on a few different things at once, but the thing is, you're not really focused. You're not really deeply focused on any one thing. And so anyway, this part of what I've been doing is rewiring my brain to get back to lots of reading. And there's reasons for that, because I've got a couple topics I want to address this year. I've mentioned that John McCrae and I are starting up some new channels. You might want to start a new channel, man.
I don't even know what I should do. Should I start a new channel?
Yeah, I think you should start a new channel. Like you should probably keep your Hebrew Israelite stuff separate from something else that you want to talk about. You got to come up with something cool that you want to talk about. But you keep getting strikes on this channel, and it's a matter of time. So it's good to start building up another channel now. So anyway, John McCrae and I have been talking about that for a while, and this is stuff we've known for years. That and you can look at any of the big YouTubers. They usually have 2 or 3 or 4 channels to divide up different kinds of content. And that's not just to protect yourself from YouTube. It's because if you have different kinds of content and different formats and stuff like that, it creates what's called channel confusion, that people can't figure out exactly what your channel's about. They can't figure out exactly the format. And so, like, if you have a mixture of long live streams and awesome short videos, then the algorithm sees, oh, someone watched this particular video, whether it's a live stream or a short video. They watch that, and therefore, now the next video that's posted, I'll recommend that to the people. But sometimes they don't like that other kind of content or that other format or something like that. So they either don't click on it, or they start watching and then they click off it, and that's sending information to the algorithm that people don't like it. And so the idea is, you're supposed to have, if you're covering significantly different kinds of content, it's supposed to be broken up on different channels. And if you have significantly different formats, that's supposed to be broken up on channels. That's why you'll have like Joe Rogan, where he has the long podcast, but then you'll have the clips, right? You'll have the shorter clips for people who aren't going to watch the 2-hour podcast or something like that. So anyway, we've known this for a while. We just haven't been doing it. And so wanted to start up some new channels this year. John McCrae and I also wanted to start up a creator channel. And we were talking about that recently, as far as one of the things to do. And ladies and gentlemen, this is just because everywhere we go, if we go speak somewhere, we're walking out afterwards, we get a little crowd of people asking us how to do YouTube and stuff like that. We're like, okay, wherever we go, there are all these people who want to know about, how to do YouTube as a Christian, and how to be effective, and what should they do and stuff like that. And so we just want to make a channel dedicated to that sort of thing. But we are thinking one of the cool things to do as far as tutorials and stuff is to pick particular people who should have way more subscribers than they do, and figure out what's going on, and run them through the process. So you should have way more followers than you do. Adam Coleman should have way more followers than he does and stuff. And so, in addition to sort of building our own new channels and making tutorials off of that, it's finding other Christians we know and figuring out, hey, what's going on here? You have the right type of personality. You have the brains. You have what's going on here? Why have you not blown up, right? And then figuring out what the problem is, because guys, this is how it works, right? If you look at the channels that do well and really blow up, you got to have some sort of type of personality that people want to watch. You have to be smart to know what you're talking about, things like that. Now, you don't have to have that. I can make a channel where all that happens is, I get kicked in the balls every day. Well, people watch that, right? Even though it doesn't take any intelligence at all. It doesn't take any intelligence at all. But if people are actually watching you for your content and so on, then it's usually the right personality and intelligence, and being able to put things out there, and having covering content that not a lot of other people are covering and so on. You kind of have to have that stuff. And then other than that, everything can be taught. You can learn it. You can learn everything else. And so when we see people who have all the correct ingredients and they haven't blown up yet, it's usually, okay, something's off. Something's a little off here. So let's figure out what's off, what's not going right, and then fix that so it can blow up. So anyway, we're going to do that. Yeah, we got some fun stuff. We got some fun stuff coming up.
Real quick, Tippy Bear, I got your comment, which says Vocab. And also I saw Monkey Bear. Thank you for the tip in the tip jar. And Anthony Rogers just gave a tip. Anthony Rogers is here.
Anthony Rogers?
Yeah.
Everyone keep in mind, if you're supporting Anthony Rogers, you don't need to, because he's just here throwing money around at other people.
He knows that I'm the bottom man on the totem pole. He's just trying to help the underdog. Hey, DJ Next, the guy I mentioned, is in the live chat as well. Shout out to you. All right, so David, it is true as far as my channel. The problem is I get bored with one thing and I talk about different stuff and this and that, and so I definitely have way too much variety of format. But the problem is I like it that way, but I know it's not the best for the channel.
Yeah, you would have to narrow it down, and especially if we're talking about a new channel, it would have to be something specific. It helps if it's something that another channel's not really covering, like if you're going to be the guy to go to on that topic and kind of stick to that. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I mean, if you're talking about if we're talking about starting a new channel, then you could have your Vocab Malone channel where because you've been covering different kinds of stuff on Vocab Malone for a while, and it can be a situation where if you're going to cover normal stuff that you'd cover and the stuff you've covered there in the past and stuff like that, then you post it on Vocab Malone. But if it's something that's narrowly focused on some specific topic, then you post that on your new channel.
One person says, DJ Next says, Vocab, can you bring back the smoke room? Smoke room is where I would sit there and people could just come in and ask questions, and I would just take any question. And it got pretty interesting. You should do something. Well, you kind of do that, something like that, except you don't bring the people on the channel. You can just take their questions from the live chat. But
hey, check this out. So you have Abu Hazab here. Apparently I'm glancing through. It looks like he's just been posting the same thing over and over again.
Yes,
and apparently his argument is, why would you learn Islam from someone like David Wood? You don't go to Matt Dillahunty and who else did he name? Aaron Ra.
Yeah.
To learn about Christianity. So why would you go to David Wood to learn about Islam? Well, let me break it down for you, Abu Hazab. Guys, how many of you watch my channel? How many of you have been watching my videos for years? And you can go ahead and verify this. Do I not put the entire source right there up on the screen and then read through it? Do we not then go on to the most popular and most respected Muslim commentators of all time? Do I not quote the Quran and then say, so here's what the Quran says? Now, if you, in case you're wondering if I'm interpreting this correctly, let's go to Al-Qurtubi. Let's go to Ibn Kathir. Let's go to Ibn Abbas. Let's look at these 3 or 4 or 5 hadiths that comment on this to show that I am interpreting this correctly. Is that what you get from Matt Dillahunty when he talks about Christianity, that level of deep analysis? No, it's not. So keep in mind and by the way, Abu Hazab, I mean, part of the reason I have to do that is your apologists and scholars are kind of compulsive liars when it comes to certain things, right? They'll say, oh no, Aisha was 18 when Muhammad married her. So what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to not respond to that? Am I supposed to not go through that? No, they're lying. They're lying about the preservation of the Quran. They're lying about the amazing scientific accuracies in the Quran and so on. So who's going to tell you the truth? Your leaders aren't. Your leaders who actually study the text of the Quran, people like Yasser Qadi and so on, they know the Quran's been changed over and over and over again like a beating drum. They know this stuff, but they won't tell you, because as soon as they tell you, as soon as they give you even a hint of different Qurans and so on, you eat them alive and start calling them heretics and kafirs and everything else. They don't want to deal with that, right? So, like it or not, you have to hear the truth about Islam from people like us. So if we had the same situation in Christianity where Christian apologists and scholars were constantly lying about the content, then you would need someone to come in and do the research, do the investigation, and show what the truth is. You would need that. We don't have that problem, right? We don't have that problem. So once your leaders start telling the truth and stop lying about things, then you won't need us anymore. But right now, what you find is over and over and over again, your apologist, your scholar says something, but it's a lie. And then I step in there, not to say, listen to me. I step in there to say, listen to what your prophet actually said. Because he's saying the exact opposite of what your scholar says. Your apologist just said perfect preservation right down to the letter. Let me tell you what Aisha said about, her sheep eating verses of the Quran. Let me show you what Ibn Masud said. Let me show you what Ubay ibn Ka'b said about more than 200 verses coming up missing from Surah 33. Let me show you these things that your leaders and your apologists just aren't telling you. And you get angry about that. Why are we listening to this guy? Well, you're not listening to me. You're listening to Aisha and Ubay ibn Ka'b and Muhammad and Abu Bakr and all these other people through me, because I'm telling you what they say, whereas your leaders don't. So hope that clarifies things. Guess what? You can listen to an atheist as long as the atheist is giving you accurate information. I mean, Bart Ehrman, a lot of what he says about the historical origins of Christianity, sometimes he's right on the money. Sometimes he's giving accurate information. Sometimes he's, sloppy, and he's letting certain philosophical issues that he has influence his interpretation of various issues. Sometimes he's right on the money. And so if Bart Ehrman or someone else says something, you should listen to that. You shouldn't be throwing out what atheists say because they're atheists. You shouldn't be throwing out what Christians say because they're Christians. I don't throw out what Muslims say because they're Muslims. If a Muslim says something correct, then he's simply correct. So if you don't like me telling you something about your religion, then you should show that that's not what your religion actually teaches. And that's all I can say. Hope that clarifies, because you're clearly obsessed with this based on the number of comments you posted.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. It's funny, though, because after he's been, spamming the live chat, then he says, triggered when you respond, when you responded.
Yeah, it's just amazing, right? Pay attention to me, 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 pay attention to me. Okay, fine, I'll pay attention to you for a couple minutes, because he actually raised something that is an important issue. When do you listen to someone who's not an adherent of that belief system, and could be biased? When do you listen to that person? And the claim is, well, you shouldn't listen to that critic because he's biased. Well, guess what? The adherent of the ideology can also be biased. And so you kind of have to look and say, okay, here's what this person is saying. Here's what that person is saying. Let's go back to the sources and see what's right here. And if that's triggered, then I guess I'm triggered.
Then call me triggered. Yeah. Well, it's been quite a bit of interesting comments here. Everyone, by the way, if you subscribe during the show, it'll actually pop up and say you are subscribed. So subscribe and see your name on the screen if you have not already subscribed, please. So David, you and John got some plans together. What about you and Anthony? I mean, I don't actually know the answer to this. You guys, because sometimes you guys collab. Anything with Anthony? Besides,
it sucks because I still have a bunch of videos that I recorded of Anthony that I haven't posted yet.
The Trinity videos? Yeah,
the idea was, because I've got 6 posted, and then he redid number 6, and then he did several more after that. But the idea was for him, even if it takes a period of several years, the idea was for him to go through the entire Bible, right? Because he's been going book by book. He did multiple videos just on Genesis, the Trinity in Genesis. And so the idea was for him to just keep knocking out 4, 5, 6 videos at a time and so on, until, again, even if it takes in the next 5 years, but if eventually you have a collection of videos, pretty short videos, but they're videos showing how the Trinity is revealed all through the Bible, then man, that's something where, like, whatever else happens in life, you're like, hey, I accomplished that. No one else had that, right? I made an entire series of videos going through the doctrine of the Trinity through the entire Bible. That's how Anthony can actually look back on that. Anyway, the only thing slowing him up is me, because I record a bunch of videos and just haven't edited them yet.
Well, people were saying in the live chat that they would like to see those, so hopefully that happens. Anthony is in the live chat, and he said buffoon.
Dude, I mean, look, just because you brought him up doesn't mean he should be calling you names. You should block that dude.
Yeah, he's something.
That's disrespectful to you.
Hold on, let me go back to the right screen. Did I? Oh, I see what I did there. Sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to do the air horn, guys. My bad. I hit the wrong button.
Puritan 74 said, "Where can we see the videos that have been done?" If you go to my channel, Act 17 Apologetics, and you go to the playlists, there's a playlist that's called, I think it's called
The
Trinity in Jewish and Christian Scripture or something like that. But you'll find it.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, maybe
But
Anthony.
I'm going to rename it
playlist.
Anthony. I'm going to rename it Anthony as a buffoon.
I like that name better. Did Anthony lose weight too?
Anthony lost a ton, and it was, I think it was similar stuff where it was. I think they were telling him he was going to get. I don't know how much I'm supposed to be sharing about this, but I think it was like he was getting diabetes and stuff like that. And they said, "Hey, you're getting diabetes or something like that." And he was like, "What? I don't know. I'll show you. I'll lose 500 pounds." And so he went out there and got totally shredded instantly, and then he was fine.
And then Sam lost weight, and John already weighs nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like the one.
You're the only fat one left, man.
I was gonna say, it's because I'm Sicilian, but I can't say that because Anthony is too. David told me I was gonna die in a year.
I don't remember saying that, but it sounds like something I would say. If I saw someone who's out of shape, I'd be like, "Dude, you're gonna die within the next year. I guarantee you, unless you get in shape right now." So again, I don't remember saying that, but that is the sort of thing I would say. So it's possible.
Huh. Well, I gotta see. I mean, I've seen the videos, but I haven't seen Anthony in person. I gotta see what's going on. I'm gonna see you in person, see what's popping with Anthony.
Anthony is totally. He needs to bulk up. He needs to bulk up and get the pythons. But he's totally skinny now.
Fascinating.
And then Sam has that giant melon on his head. So the skinnier he gets, the more giant his head's going to look. And it looks like he's just going to fall over because you can't lose weight off that dome, man. You know what I mean?
He's going to be like the Star Trek aliens from the pilot episode.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Pulsating brains. Only their brains are like really developed. The rest of their bodies are like...
Hey, Little Red Riding Hood said I stopped smoking by the help of Jesus Christ. So yeah.
Hey, praise God.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right on.
That's one of those things. It's hard for a lot of people to do. My mom smoked all those years until she got lung cancer, and then stopped. Got half a lung taken out. Said she quit, but she was still sneaking cigarettes. Man, it's like, gosh.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Hey David, where you been? Donated $10. Hey David,
nice.
where you been? It's early in the. Someone put there. It's early in the UK. It looks like the people in Europe like this time. That's what it seems like here. What I've been noticing. All right. What about you and Sam? Are you guys doing anything together, or have you decided he's too much of a liability? What's going on with that?
Sam is way too much of a liability. I'm just gonna have to smash that. I'm just gonna have to. See, Sam only responds to aggression, right? He doesn't listen to anything else. So, I mean, he's sitting there getting all scrawny. The first time I ever met Sam, I went over someone's house and he's sitting on a bench and he'd been running his mouth. And so I was like, I'm gonna go up and like squeeze the life out of him and let him know that I'm the physically dominant one here. And Sam, it seems, has what I've always called it crazy strength, right?
Yeah.
Like there are people who they just seem to be significantly stronger than they have any business being. And so I found that out when I tried to bear hug him and crush him. And I actually felt like I grabbed a bear, like a grizzly bear. Right? And so anyway, but now he's getting all skinny, see, and now I'm hitting the gym and I'm packing on the muscle. So next time I see him, I'm just going to have to crush that dude, put him in place. He's going to have to listen. And I'm just going to tell him, I'm sick of trying to reason with him. Right. I'm sick of trying to reason with Sam. Look, you want to be as effective as possible. Quit being a douche all the time. Now I'm going to I'm gonna just smash him for a bit, and then be like, now you're gonna do what I say, or I'm gonna smash your face in every time I see you.
You think that's That's the solution?
Then we're gonna see a new Sam Shamoon, man. New humble dude.
All right.
He's like I can tell he's been waiting his entire life for someone to just crush him and force him to do the right thing.
Yeah, that sounds like that's really been something he's been looking forward to his whole life. Mm-hmm. Sam's got that Asher strength. Who's Asher? Is that something? Is that like a?
Probably referring to the Assyrians. For people who never seen Sam's family, I've seen Sam's like his brother and like his cousins and stuff. They all look like professional wrestlers. They're all these big, massive, giant guys with necks out to here. Sam looks like the baby of the bunch when he's around all his cousins and stuff. But they're all like, I don't know if you'll remember it, Vocab. You remember George the Animal Steel?
Yeah. He used to eat the turnbuckle.
That's like everyone. If you look at George the Animal Steel, that's exactly what all of Sam's male relatives look like, and some of the female ones.
That's a funny comment. Yeah, George the Animal Steel is like a crazy wrestler. I just remember he would wear that one uni kind of thing, kind of like Andre the Giant maybe. He had his shirt off a lot, bald. And then his famous thing is when he would eat the turnbuckle, where he would actually physically, yeah. And, well, I love Sam Shamoon, and I pray for him whenever I remember.
No, he's just got to be humbled, and I'm going to take care of that problem.
Elizabeth says Sam must have banned 10,000 followers from his channel by now. That might be true. All right, so we've talked about anyone else on the squad we need to mention. Well, not in the squad necessarily, but I don't know if a lot of people know, but you have done a live stream, at least one, since you've been off. You did something with the Apostate Prophet.
Yeah, it was a similar situation that yeah, he's been really busy because he had a new baby, so he's been really busy, and I've been busy and stuff. And he was just like, "Let's go live," and I was like, "All right, yeah, we can do that."
Yeah, that was cool. I think that's the one thing you've done, right? You talked a little bit about what's been going on there, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, I'll get back to it. Matter of fact, over the past couple of days, I was like, "Gosh, it's a Good Friday and Resurrection Sunday coming up, and so I want to jump on some of those videos, and it just doesn't work out, man. Just doesn't work out. But no, I will definitely get back to posting something this week. And every time I've said I'm starting a new channel as well, and I'm actually ready to go on that. Just not working out with to get it done with each day, but yeah, so. I will be getting back to posting something, probably 2 or 3 videos this week, and then I'll even if I'm staying up nights, I'll get in my groove again. I'll get.
Well, I know one thing. I mean, you got the guy who crashed the Capitol's Nation of Islam, obviously not Islam, but Nation of Islam, and then it appears the other guy in Colorado, the Syrian refugee, appears to have been some type of Muslim as well. So there's some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I'm not terribly interested. I might do like a collection to sort of compare and contrast all the different things. I don't know too much about the guy in Colorado. He did seem a little crazy, because guys, keep in mind, if a guy who happens to be a Muslim or raised a Muslim is actually crazy and goes on a killing spree, well, that might have not much to do with his ideology.
Yeah, well, the guy in Georgia was involved with a Baptist church. I don't know if he was currently at that time, but historically as a youth had. And I think he was still on the membership rolls. They had to excommunicate him once that murder happened. The guy with they killed, I believe, 6 of 8. The victims were Asian. He was involved, even in my understanding, as a Reformed Baptist church.
Yeah, as far as I don't know if more came out, but as far as the early stories were coming out, he was saying that it's like he can't deal with the temptation of
Yes.
these, which are, you know, some of these massage parlors are basically brothels and stuff, and he can't deal with the temptation, and so he just goes on a killing spree. But that's actually a good example of, okay, that has nothing to do with the guy's ideology, right? And so you can have someone like that who's a Muslim too, because a Muslim could have done the same thing and said, I just can't, you know, I got so much problem with this temptation, I'm going to go on a killing spree, right? And you know, a lot of people would be inclined to say, oh, it's because, you know, he's waging jihad or something like that. So you kind of have to you just have to look at things on a case by case basis and figure out what you know about the person and the situation and so on.
Thank you for the tip, Liza. Yeah, the guy in Georgia said it was to resist sexual temptation. And he said it wasn't because anyone was Asian. He just wanted to eliminate the source of the sexual temptation. And 6 of the 8 victims were Asian, because I believe he went to two different spas there. And
he's gonna spend the rest of his life in prison, so you don't have to deal with that temptation anymore.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a tragic story, but
what a douche, man.
Yeah,
seriously, man, like.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I'm struggling with lust. I think murdering, homicide is the solution to fix my sin, is to kill people. Yeah. Murder will be the answer. You know?
And it's also a situation where, I mean, a lot of these women are like sex trafficking victims. You know what I mean? It's in exchange for, you know, they might be taken, but in a lot of them, it's, hey, you know, we're going to take you over from someplace over there, but you're going to have to work off your trip in a brothel when you get over here. And so it's not like they love that life or anything. And then you go in there and you massacre them because you can't resist. Dude, it's move. Go somewhere else, dude. Go somewhere else if you can't heal it. You could go preach them. I mean, what you should be doing is trying to help those ladies if you can, but to just go in there and massacre them, what the heck, man? What a loser.
Yeah, that was a horrible thing. Hindu historian, yes, I have seen the movie Crash with Ludacris, although it seems like a random question, but I have. All right, so David, we wanted to keep this around this time. I'm glad that we're almost at 400 live viewers, and I'm glad that everyone has tuned in to check it out. That's excellent. Please do subscribe to this channel. Make sure you're subscribed to David's channel, of course, and support him on Patreon. Or if you're already doing him, put me next in line, patreon.com/ is it Vocab or Vocab Malone? I think it's just Vocab. But anyways, I look forward to seeing what you got next for your next videos, David. And
I probably, even though I'm going to be a little late, because I got some stuff I wanted to post for Easter weekend and stuff like that. It looks like it's going to be a little late, right? So I'm going to be posting like next week stuff about Jesus' death and resurrection and stuff like. So yeah, I'll probably be a little late. I also want to get into some stuff about manipulation.
Okay.
Because basically, what I've realized, psychopaths are pretty good manipulators just by nature. We kind of pick up on all the different ways to pull people's strings over the years. And if you become a Christian, you try not to do that anymore unless someone really deserves it or really being a jerk. But you still can spot it. You know what I mean? You can still see when someone's doing it.
Right.
So you still know the tricks of the trade, and you see other people doing them. So you say, oh, look, that guy's really manipulating his wife or his girlfriend. He's using, these tactics that are very familiar to manipulators. But what I've seen kind of recently is social media and various groups and so on. Mm-hmm. They're taking on the same characteristics as manipulators in abusive relationships, right? Like right. Just like if you take someone who's in an abusive relationship, it's like they're not happy and they can't figure out why, and they're constantly being manipulated into staying in this relationship, even though it's making them miserable and destroying them. And that's kind of lots of people's relationship with social media, right? It's like, gosh, I'm so angry all the time, and I'm so mad all day on Facebook and Twitter and everything else. Not realizing you have it's the same dynamic there as a manipulator who keeps you in the relationship through certain kinds of reinforcement and so on, keeps you glued and unable to leave, and yet he's making you miserable. Certain things are doing the exact same thing. Anyway, I see all these manipulation tactics, but people are being bombarded with them. Instead of one person manipulating another person, now it's entire groups.
Yeah, it's like you have class action lawsuits. It's like class action manipulation.
Yeah, and so I actually want to talk. I want to talk about some of that. I want to like run through manipulation tactics and so show people how they're being manipulated, so they can actually guard against it. Because that's one of the other things it's changed over the past several decades. And if you go back like 70 years, what the main problem that psychologists would have to do with, as far as what we're talking about here, are back then people had all kinds of desires that they would have to suppress, because you can't just, hey, everything you think of you can go out and do.
Right.
There are pressures that cause you to suppress those desires, and then you end up with what are called neuroses, right? You have these suppressed desires that are causing you to have problems and to act out in certain ways and so on. So psychologists had to deal with that. But what's happening in our generation is you can do whatever you want, right? Any desire is treated as this, good thing that you should run out and do. And it's having a different kind of impact. It's creating like narcissists and spoiled, just completely, basically people who have the mentality of a toddler flopping around in the floor of Walmart because he doesn't get some Skittles or something like that. It's people are becoming obsessed with getting anything they want, and it's creating more manipulators and so on. And so that's just some of the stuff I've been researching. But psychologists are saying that there's becoming an epidemic of manipulators and so on. So, and they say the only thing, I mean, apart from hopefully that person changing and deciding not to do certain things anymore, apart from that, it's basically people need to learn the tricks of the trade so that they can spot it when they see it and not fall for it. So
in those days, there was no king in the land, and everyone did what was right in their own eyes. You talked about how now, like, there's actually some societal pressures that were a good thing because they would limit there was inhibitions because it would limit some of your negative impulses. And now it's like, that's just getting removed. But it's not really freedom, it's slavery. But that'd be fantastic to hear, do something like that. That'd be fascinating if you could do something like that. There's a lot of people in the live chat said they're interested in that concept. Someone in the live chat asked if I was stoned.
Are you, man? You been?
Hey, you want to know?
Smoking that? You been smoking that icky sticky?
You been smoking that wacky tobacco? Hey, you want to know the truth? Because I've told you about some stupid stuff I've done, and I've done all kinds of dumb sin and all kind. I have regrets and everything. But one thing, it doesn't make me any better than anyone else. It's just funny because people ask this. I have never been high in my life.
Huh?
Not even one time. So it's funny because even when like I would pick up the phone, like say for my my sister's friends, back in the day when you had to answer the phone on the wall, they'd be like, "Is your brother high?" People would always say that, just the way I kind of, hey man. Yeah. And anyways, no, I've never been high in my life. I just so the answer is always no to that question. But the answer is I feel like that in my mind. Like I kind of feel just a lot of times just, hey man, I don't know. Anyways.
On life, man.
But I get animated. I get animated though too, right? We when we're together, we get all kinds of amped, right? I can get. It depends what's happening, man. But I mean, your nickname for me is Slow Cab.
Yep.
So.
Hey, this one time I was a teenager and I took 16 Vivarin, and
wow.
Which
okay.
is each one is the equivalent of 2 cups of coffee. So I was like, what if I take
caffeine
this whole
pills? Yeah.
Yeah. I said, what if I take this whole sleeve of them at once, right? So I took 16 of them. So that's the equivalent of 32 cups of coffee.
Bro.
And I had just started driving and stuff. And I told my friend I'd take him home. And I remember it was a stick shift. And I remember I couldn't. No, I couldn't hold my hand on the stick shift because my hand was shaking so bad. Like I couldn't grip the gear shift because my hand was shaking so much. But yeah, those were the days.
You're like remember when Beavis and Butthead when there's this episode where he just ate a bunch of candy bars and he went crazy into cornholio mode.
Yeah.
And like he went to the front of the class and he was like freaking out, and is like that hippie teacher. He's like, Butthead, is something wrong with Beavis today? He had like 32 candy bars,
candy bars, and then drank a 6-pack of root beer.
yeah, and he like freaks out and leaves, but it's like, that was cool. What? Anyways, it's so dumb. Oh, sorry. It's funny you knew what I was talking about, though. That's what's hilarious. You knew what I was actually talking about.
I used to watch. That was the 90s, though, man.
It's funny.
Well, it's funny because that's around the same time that I took those 16 vibrants. So you're talking about the same generation there. The real life. Yeah, I monitor what my kids watch. So like they're not allowed to go to a friend's house and watch a show. If they do and I find out, they get in trouble. It doesn't matter what it is. It's the idea of it has to be monitored what they watch. Really? So if they went over there and watched Thundercats, you'd be like, they're grounded for a month.
Well, so the last time one of them did it, they were not able to go to any of their friends' house for a week. It would take a lot more to make it into a month, but yes, actually, because the idea is there has to be monitored what it is. The reason I say that though is to tell you. Some things popped into my mind about Beavis and Butthead recently, and I said, gosh, that's so funny. It's so stupid. I bet my idiot kids would think that's funny. Because my kids are boys, so they think dumb stuff is funny, right? So, So I show them a couple episodes, which I totally should not do. But oh my gosh, they did think it was so funny. You know the one little short frog baseball? It's horrible. They're batting frogs. Yeah. But now they think that stuff's the funniest thing ever. Someone's totally gonna judge and call CPS or something on me, but I'm confessing here. This is true. We only watched a few, but gosh, man, it was funny. So we watched the one where TV from my bunghole, and he had like 32 candy bars earlier.
I remember when the principal. My favorite one was when the principal told them they weren't allowed to laugh for a week.
I heard about that one. I never saw that one. That's supposed to be one of the best episodes. It's on like the list, so I've read about it.
It was so they get punished. They get in trouble in every class during a day, and the principal punishes them because they won't stop laughing even when he's trying to punish them. He punishes them by saying that they can't laugh for a week, and if they do, then they're going to go to the other school where they're going to get the crap beat out of them. And so immediately they go into Coach Buzzcut's class.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
He's an awesome character. And he goes, he announces to the class that Beavis and Butthead are not allowed to laugh. And he says, well, that's perfect timing because this is Sex Education Week. We're going to be talking about the penis. We're going to be talking about the vagina. And he gets like right up in their faces and stuff like that. And so anyway, think about this. I saw that in like 92, 93 or something like that. And that's still in my head that I remember that.
We're entirely too young. Someone says we should put Beavis and Butthead in the Boom Boom Room.
That would be cool.
Well, that would be,
it could be done. It can be done. Yeah.
With the animation. Or we could have, when they did the segments where they would watch TV, we could have a segment where they watch episodes of the Boom Boom Room or something.
Yeah, we could do something.
Okay. All right. Well, I said I wanted to keep this around a certain time, so we probably should go. David, you want to give any final things and tell everyone anything else? Because David's been busy taking care of his kids and getting in shape. That's what's up, people. He'll be back. Don't worry about it.
Getting all shredded, calling it Apologetics. My program. Hey, you see they got me up against Mike Winger again?
On the March Madness tournament?
Yeah, he's the guy who beat me like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think he beats almost everybody.
But he takes it, he like goes and rounds up all his followers, the wingalings, and has them run out and vote for him.
But secretly he'll say vote for the other guy.
Yeah, no, but Mike's a super cool dude. He's one of the guys who he's one of the few guys who's like really, really nice guy, really gentle, really kind, and like it doesn't go to his head, right? You know what I mean? Like you can find lots of nice guys, but they're kind of jerks in other ways, right? They get arrogant, they look down on other people and stuff like that. Where there's only a few like that, like Mark Middleberg's like that, right? As far as really nice guy, do anything to help someone, loves everyone, super nice. Because normally I don't trust someone who's like a goody two shoes. I'm like, you're gonna have all kinds of problem with pride. You're not gonna get along with us when you see us acting like fools and stuff.
That's why all your friends are ex-cons. That's why all your friends are ex-cons or on their way to being cons.
I trust some people who've screwed up a lot in life and then had, and then changed over time, because your head can't get too big. You know what a screwed up loser you are. So if you've always been like the best, nicest guy around, it's hard not to let that go to your head, right? Like, hey, I'm the one who's never done anything that all these other people around me have done, right? It's easy to let that go to your head. So for when someone's actually able to pull that off, you know what I mean? To always be the nicest guy around, and it doesn't go to their head, and they're still just, going through life, seeing how many people they can help. That's pretty cool, but rare stuff.
You said that, it's good when someone is, messed up and made some mistakes, because then they recognize, like, they don't get a big head because they realize what a screwed up loser they are. I could think of an exception to that, though. I can think of an exception.
Oh, yeah? What?
No. Never mind. But you know what, Mike, I thought you would just get it and be like, oh, yeah. Mike is basically the way you guys see him on YouTube. He's like that in real life, and he's like the nicest guy on the internet, and is real legit, for real. Shout out to Bento Fernandez and everyone else in the live chat. Peace. Thank you for all the tip jar tips tonight. And sorry we did descend into madness a bit there at the end. But it's been good. And thanks for coming on so people can get a quick update from you. And I guess that's pretty much it, because if we keep going, we'll just descend further into madness.
Yep.
All right. You have fun there on the bridge of the Death Star. There has to be some name. We got to come up with some name for that. The control room, we'll think of something. I don't know. But I do like calling you the what?
Boiler room.
The boiler room.
Boiler room.
I do like calling you the night nurse, though. David with the night nurse. I like that.
That's what I do.
All right. Well, much love to everybody. I think we're ready to go. I think we're good, man. We can hit this outro and call it a night. And
yep.
How much longer do you got to stay up? You still got like 4 hours, huh?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be up. No, I'll be up till 8 at least.
All right, man. Well, God bless. Much love. God bless. Peace out. Shalom, David.
All right.
All right, peace. Let me hit this outro. All right, y'all. Street Apologist is out.
Turn your radio up. Whoa. Radio time. Whoa. You're now listening to Street Apologist. Street Apologist.